Namaste and welcome back to Waking Up with Mindful Serenity. We're going to continue with our 10-minute exercise where I pull a question from the jar and attempt to answer to my best of my ability. So, pull the question out. I am going to set my timer for 10 minutes and I'm going to take a deep breath and exhale. The question I got is it best to do nothing than to be too busy? Is it best to do nothing than it is to be too busy? Is it best to be do nothing than it is to be too busy? And the question is a good one. Speaking about the doing over the being, possibly. And is it best to do nothing than it is to be too busy? Most of us are too busy, I believe, in this busy world. I believe we are doing addicts, to-do list addicts, productivity addicts. We need to move the body to accomplish something that society says is worthy of being called being productive. So we really just want to do it and get it done and get something done that society will say, okay, that's good. A product that probably can be sold and receive some type of capital gain for it. That productivity that this industrialized age is known for, this capitalistic age is known for. So we want to make money, we want to be successful, we want to have things, and in order to do that, we have to do. We use the getting as the carrot in front of the donkey's face, and we are the donkeys that are constantly striving for that carrot. We get the house that we were looking for, we get the job that we're looking for, we get the raise that we're looking for, and within a few minutes of satisfaction, we have to go on to the next thing and get that. And so we do more, and we have to do harder, and have to do faster, quicker, more efficiently. We're much too busy. Because in all that busy doing, striving for something, we're not even sure what we'll gain when we get there. We are losing what is important. We are losing this beingness, this ability to sit still and not move and just allow life to be life by our over control and our fixating on what has to be done. What has to be done because we really want to get it done. And we're in a living age where we really need to get it done. So yeah, I do believe that it is possible that being our desire to be busy can get in the way of us not being enough and not sitting still enough and not reflecting on what's really important enough. And what is really important is this peace and this thing that is inside us that can be measured by what we've gotten and what we've gained and what we have. It is who we are. And we get to take it away by that from our busy work. Our busy work can take us away from that. That doesn't mean we're not supposed to act. It doesn't mean just sit here and do nothing. We can meditate as long as we want, but that's not the answer to your spiritual question. We do have to participate in life. We're here to participate and experience life through that participating. We get to see what life is all about. We get to be a part of it. We get to act and do and dance and play. But when it becomes too busy in the sense that we're doing things in order to get ahead or to get something that's really not that important to our evolution, then it becomes a problem. So in that case, it's probably better to do nothing. And we often get asked the question, in a state of crisis, something happens in our life suddenly, and we just want to go and act and do something about it, fix it. I got this worry problem, so I want to fix it. I want to do something to make it better. But Michael Singer would tell you that even worry, when we try to solve our problems in worry, it is still a part of the worry mind. It's still a part of the worry, the restlessness and worry. That's one of the hindrances to us getting to where we need to be. So even that is a problem. So we have to be mindful of our thinking tendencies too, which is a form of doing, right? And think and try to problem solve, but in so doing, We're not actually experiencing this moment. We're taken out of the moment, out of this being thing to a problem that's not even there. It doesn't really exist in this moment, but because of mind and worry mind and non-stop thinking, we put it there. And we keep doing it. And we keep getting lost in that. So, yeah, we have to be careful about doing too much. And sometimes it is probably better to do nothing. But that doesn't mean, like I said, we don't act. We can respond to crisis after we're clear, after we've been still for a while, after we did nothing for a while and just sat here and pondered why that emotion was coming up, why this experience was coming into our lives without resisting it or judging it or pushing it down in a way, and just allowed it so that we stayed clear and we were clinging and grasping, which causes that sensation of suffering and keeps us stuck in the doing, whether it's a thinking doing or an actual physical doing. But we get stuck when we cling and grasp and we want things to be different than the way they are. So accepting and allowing whatever it is to come up, accepting and allowing life to do what it does first and are not doing anything about it is the first thing to do. And then when we're clear, we can have inspired action, action that is based on right action, I guess the Buddhists would call it. It's action that's based on being clear and knowing what is best for us. You know, it's not reactive doing. It's just most of the doing that we do reactive. I have this feeling of lack of, so I want this, so I will react with the wanting, and then the wanting will lead me to react with the behaving to get that thing, and the striving to get that thing. And then when we get it, then we have to react again. Okay, I got this. This feeling is going away, so I'm going to react to that feeling. That feeling of satisfaction going away, so I want something else that's going to make me feel satisfied, and I go after that. Right? So we have reactive doing, which is not clarity doing, or inspired action, or response, which is the ability to respond, to to allow life to be life and then flow with it, respond in a way that we're fun with it rather than against it. So sometimes it takes a lot of doing nothing to gain that clarity, to gain that sense of, okay, this is the right action to take here if I need to act here. But we don't prioritize the action so that it becomes reaction. We prioritize the clarity so it becomes inspired action or response. So sometimes it is good. It's better to do nothing than it is to be too busy. So if you find yourself busy, you have to ask yourself, why am I busy? What am I doing here? What am I trying to achieve by being here? Am I escaping something? Am I escaping having to deal with things that are inside me that really need to be dealt with, that I have to face when I'm sitting still? Am I running away from stillness in my action, in my busy work? Am I not sitting with what is because it's too painful? Because I have to deal with all those emotions I've kept and stored and all those experiences or some scares that are inside me. I have to deal with how illusionary the psyche is. I have to question and ask the big questions about reality when I'm alone. And often that's what our busy work here is, just an escape from the truth of what is that exists in the moment, suchness. You know, because part of that suchness is dealing with what we've got inside here and what we've done in here in order to cope with these human lives. And so our doing sometimes becomes a running away from what is. And when we catch ourselves doing, we have to ask ourselves, what am I running from? If I'm running from something, and what am I running to? Am I running from? What am I running to? And I'm trying to escape the what. Am I trying to escape the what isness, which is this unpleasant experience I have of not having enough, for example, or this unpleasant experience of being bored. We hate to be bored. You know, Pascal said the greatest, the source of all men's sufferings is inability to sit quietly in a room alone, because we fear what that means to be still. We have to deal with what's real, what's inside us, what's holding us back from experiencing life in the way we're meant to be. We start to see the illusion falling apart, tiny bit around the edges, and that's very uncomfortable for us because we create these mental schematics in this version of reality that we want to hold still, that the doing allows us to stick to, because it keeps us away from facing the truth. So my time just went off, and I'm not sure if I answered this question correctly or not. I know there's a lot of noise in the background. I might have to cancel this one, but if not, I'm putting it up the way it is, and I hope that you find yourself doing a little less, certainly acting when the time comes to act, and your right action and inspired action, but spending a lot of time being okay, just sitting in a room alone. That's all I have to say today. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.